Today I have a timeless messages from Spirit reading in store for you, and we're getting the theme today from this Earth Magic Oracle card deck. So let's see what it is. Stillness, lake. Oh, I love it. Okay. Here's what the guidebook has to say about the lake card. It says, the subdued pastels of early morning of the early morning light quietly announce that the night is over and the sun is rising. The lake itself hasn't awakened from its rest and remains still and undisturbed. It welcomes the coming day, ready to respond with grace and fluidity to whatever currents and movements appear in its belly or upon its skin. The surrounding vegetation thrives from the abundant water near the shoreline, and the unoccupied boat lies in wait for its next passenger. All is at rest in this scene. It's in the deep internal stillness that we find our being and come to know that we are intimately united with all of creation. To achieve this mindset, we must slow down once in a while and get away from the surroundings that interfere and distract our inner tranquility. When we do so, this profound stillness is available at all times, regardless of the environment. We can experience this sensation with steady, conscious breathing, or we can simply pause for a few moments and be still. Wow. I love that so much. So I'm getting the sense, the two main things that came to me were I would say even more than stillness, but not necessarily even more than stillness, but along with this idea of stillness and inner tranquility, inner peace, is this idea of integration, where there's inner peace because of the integrating work that we've been doing, and then definitely hermit card vibe. So this permission slip to sometimes remove yourself from the people, from the subcultures, from the culture that we're in, so that we can hear our own inner voice. Oh my gosh. And then as I say that, the Muse of Emotion flips over, which is the King of Cups in a standard deck, which is really plays off beautifully. Not only do we have this water theme, the lake and the water in this card, but there really is this idea of emotional maturity. So really this idea that the stillness of your soul comes not through avoiding yourself, but facing yourself and integrating, healing and integrating. So let's get one more message for the viewer, please, at the time they find this video on this theme of tranquility, inner peace, integration. So essentially this is kind of advice from Spirit on this theme. Clearly this card, the Muse of Emotion coming out as the main card, is just a call towards doing whatever you can, whatever is the next logical step for you to build your emotional capacity, to build your emotional maturity. So for some people tuning in, that might be, oh yeah, wow. Eight of Voices comes up with the Knight of Materials. Wow. Oh, Seven of Voices at the bottom. So what I was going to say is, for some people tuning in, that might be going to therapy. For some people, it might be a coach. For some people, it might be reading a book on healing. For some people, it might be more spiritual. So each one of us, each one of you tuning in will have your own, next step in terms of what will build your emotional capacity, what will help you integrate different fragmented parts of yourself, what will help you heal. But this is definitely a call towards that healing equaling the stillness that you are seeking. Okay, so give me a second as I just to set up these cards so you can see them all well. Okay, so there's a pretty clear and straightforward message here. So obviously, we started off with this idea of tranquility through integration, right? And then that message was capitalized on with the first and most prominent card coming out here being the Muse of Emotion, the King of Cups. And then the final cards that came out were the Eight of Voices, which is the Eight of Swords, and the Knight of Materials, which is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the bottom of the deck being the Seven of Voices, which is the Seven of Swords in reverse. So let's start there. I think it's really noteworthy. So to me, bottom of the deck often means like kind of the underlying essence of what's being asked of you. And there really is this call, this invitation to detox deception. So Seven of Voices, Seven of Swords is often like, yeah, it can be just like a trickery card. And so I think that this is maybe deception from people around you, but it's also like the deception that we've internalized ourselves, right? And it's making me think of the Law of One, which is like a spiritual text that was channeled a while back. And the reason it's making me think of it is because in that text, the word that's always used is distortion. Like, nope, that's a distortion of thought. And that's definitely coming through here with the Seven of Swords, is like this detoxing of distortion. So whether it is deception, it's trickery, it's distortions outside of yourself that you're letting yourself believe, or within, there's this like important call to have willingness to see things differently. That comes from A Course in Miracles. So that distortions can be corrected, because the distortions are really the blocks to our inner peace, aren't they? And that's just highlighted even more here with the Eight of Voices. So we have the Seven of Voices in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Eight of Voices comes out, Eight of Swords, which is really, I often think of the Eight of Swords as like unconscious, self-imposed limitations. So it's the ways we're holding ourselves back that we don't realize that we're doing, usually because like we're a fish in water. So what I mean by that is we learned ways to cope and survive in different seasons of our lives. And those coping skills, those survival skills were really important in that season. But as we move to different seasons, they actually become the things that are holding us back. But because we were like a fish in water, using those, they were such a part of us, we don't always see how we are holding ourselves back. So there's this big call to like a willingness to see. And as you more and more practice that willingness to see things differently, to that willingness to identify when beliefs and patterns of thought are distortions versus the reality of things, there's this beautiful permission slip to take things step by step. So the Knight of Pentacles is this really beautiful card of building things that last, because you're not forcing things to go faster than they need to go. So this is just like a beautiful permission slip that you don't need to go. You don't need to go faster than you need to go. That there is wisdom in taking things slowly, even and especially on the healing path. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think this is such a beautiful, cohesive message, and I think there's such potential for powerful and beautiful tranquility within yourself, but then also in terms of the people that you're surrounding yourself with, so on and so forth, with this willingness to build your emotional capacity by seeing, recognizing distortions, cleaning them up, and a willingness to take things one baby step at a time. So thank you so much for tuning in. May you experience a lot of inner peace moving forward, and may your anxieties be transmuted into stillness, one baby step at a time.